Okay, guys. So, for those who've been following the UFL Cup, of course, it's been interesting lately. Pero updates muna, ang daming balita. Of course, we've had him on the show for quite some time. The coach of Nomads, Michael Denison, has resigned, no? And apparently it has surprised some of the teammates, di ba? This, of course, happened after the 8-1 loss of the Nomads sa Loyola, Meralco Sparks.
So we all know who to blame in
Nakita siya dun sa 8 eh.
He missed a couple.
Just out of sympathy, compassion.
So what happened? What happened, Roy? Bakit daw? Why did he suddenly resign in the middle of the Nomads UFL Cup campaign?
Yeah, the surprise really is that it's been during the middle of it. Nomads are top of their group even, with 3 wins out of 4, if I remember right.
Yes,
9 points.
9 points.
Officially, he was just very, very angry with the officiating.
Yes.
He's been ranting about it for a long time, and that was the official reason given. I think the captain, Randy Musters, will take over in the meantime.
Yes.
However, in the article when it was released, some of the teammates did also say they had seen it coming for a while. So you really wonder what's going on behind the scenes, because if they've seen it coming for a long time, maybe he's just tired. He's been here for quite a while and trying to establish things. And obviously an 8-1 loss is very disheartening. I mean, Loyola could have been a bit more compassionate perhaps. They could have been a bit nicer. You know, football. Football's a
Your countrymen, huh?
No, obviously Nomads were taken apart in that game, but they've still got a good chance of qualifying, and they've done really well in their groups. Aside from that game aside, they've put in some good performances and results.
And then
But the reason for why he's retired, that'll probably come out more with time, it seems.
Yes,
The other sides of it.
But you're right. You know, it's a bit premature, of course, for these things to happen for Nomads, especially considering that Loyola and Pachanga are just 3 points away, and apparently they have superior goal difference over Nomads. So in the event that both Loyola and Pachanga were to win their remaining games, they can actually end up at the top of their group.
Yeah,
at
Loyola
the expense
against
of Nomads.
Mendiola. Pachanga will be against Laos, so you can't really see
Yes.
either of the teams losing those ones. They're
Yes.
very heavy favourites for both of those games.
And Nomads will be up against who next?
They finished their games.
Oh, they're finished.
They've
Okay.
had all their games. That's why Loyola and Pachanga have the game in
Right.
hand, so they're just on the 3 games there.
So having mentioned that, of course, in the other groups, Global is at 10 points, 3 points clear of the next side, General Trias, and then Pasargad at 6 points. So Group B naman, Green Archers United and Kaya are both at 10 points. So they look to be advancing already into the knockout stages.
They've qualified already. The Green Archers have the better goal difference.
Yes.
So a little surprisingly, they'll be at the top of the group. It means Kaya, the way they're doing it is a little weird for me. the seedings for the next round, but I've got them here. So Kaya will be against likely Global, which will make it the real pick of the quarterfinals.
And this is because you're right. The pairings are the first in Group A against the second in Group B. So A1 versus B2, and then for the next naman it's B1 versus C2. So that would be Archers United, and of course once they have resolved it in their group, whether it's Loyola, Pachanga or Nomads, and then so on and so forth. C1 versus D2 and D1 versus A2, which would pretty much fit again from their group, and D2 would be pretty much Stallion.
I think you need a maths degree just to figure out what the UFL
Yes.
is trying to do with this whole algebra.
And then, of course, moving forward to the semis, but we'll get to our predictions later. But moving forward to the semis, it will be the winner of the first. So yung A1 versus B2, di ba? And the winner of the third, which would be the winner of C1 versus D2. Medyo, we're all speaking in theoreticals here.
Absolutely, abstract mathematics
I
at
know.
its best.
But anyway, that's how the pairings will
I think
go.
they arrange it in that manner so as to avoid teams who played each other
in the group
going against each other again.
That's right. But you're right. It will be interesting to see Global and Kaya, face each other off in a knockout phase. No? And
yeah,
then
quarterfinal match. That could be the final by itself. But obviously it'll just be the quarterfinals. It could be the final. It would be a very good final. Of course, another good final would be the Stallions versus Global. But of course, Loyola are one of the favourites for the competition. And having Coach Ando here as guesting.
Yes.
How's your group stage been going so far? Are you confident of obviously making it to the next round? I think you only need if it's a very heavy win, you'll be top of the group. So then you'll be against.
One goal difference.
Here's my cheat sheet in the maths exam. You'll be against G2. So either the Air Force or Stallions in Group D, or possibly Army. Depends who wins out of those ones. Surprisingly, Army have qualified actually for the next round, so they've done well there in a group of Air Force and Stallions. But seeing as you'll be against one of those teams, should you beat Mendiola heavily, how do you feel your chances are to make it against a team such as Global or Kaya, who I think you'll find in the next round? Yeah.
Semis.
Yeah, in the semi-finals. Which could be another final. That semi.
Good. Thanks for that. I was waiting for that. I think assessing Global's roster right now, they have a lot of attacking flair. But I think they would have difficulty playing against a team who's defensively organized. So I think that's one thing we need to work on if we are to face them.
Yeah.
Right.
Kaya, on the other hand, is a very defensive team.
That's right.
So again, maybe we just have to keep on attacking if we play if we play Kaya, and of course hold our defense good enough so we can prevent their counterattacks.
Yeah, and last season in the league, you guys were the top scorers, but out of the top four, you also conceded much more than the other teams. So you can really see the strengths and weaknesses of Loyola much more than the rest. Are you confident that you can simply score more goals than the rest of the teams? Or do you really think you have to solidify that defence? Coming off obviously the 4-0 loss in Singapore as well, and the tiredness that might bring because of the heavy schedule. Are you confident now in the team that they can make it to the next round?
Yeah, of course. The important thing with, let's say, with our experience in Singapore is like to take bits and pieces of what we need to work on, basically our defending, and we haven't played the same back for so long together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But our commitment to have a better defense is there. Like we got in Chad, so you can see the commitment of the team, of the coaching staff, to build a better defense. So I think the important thing for our group now is to really stabilize the back four, and of course, equally important is the help coming from the midfield and the team defending. I think a lot would say that when we defend, we don't defend as a team. So I think that's one thing we really have to work on.
And you mentioned earlier that the possibility of Loyola facing Stallion or Air Force, right? In the knockout stages, now it would be interesting, diba, to see Loyola match up against Stallion, the likes of or again Air Force, diba? It will be a very interesting match.
Yeah,
if that will
Our
happen.
kryptonite.
Yes. Yung ano daw, bakit daw hindi matalo-talo, diba sabi? But that's why it should be interesting. But anyway, so for more updates on the UFL Cup, it's getting more heated, sabi natin. Papunta na siya ng knockout quarterfinals.
It's do or die Tuesday.
Yes.
The final games. Is it at Rizal Memorial Stadium this time around?
Yes,
on
I
Tuesday.
think it will be.
Tuesday, yes, tomorrow.
New map.
So General Trias versus Pasargad will decide who goes through. Air Force versus Stallions will decide who goes through, and we're pretty sure of Group C. So that's it's really do or die Tuesday, as they're calling it.
So for more updates on Do or Die Tuesday and on the quarterfinals, do follow us at FTW Sports.